In my journey to make $100 million in sales online, I found out that one thing is important, almost more important than anything else. That is, you have to be able to get traffic to your website. If you can't get traffic to your site, everything else falls apart. You can have the most beautiful product, the most awesome sales process, the greatest lead generation process you could ever imagine. But if you can't get traffic, you will never make money. And today I'm going to show you count them, three Reddit hacks to drive a flood of traffic to your website. And it uses AI to do it. And by the way, if you don't know what Reddit is, so I'll show that really quickly for those who are unfamiliar with Reddit. So Reddit is essentially a glorified forum, and it is loaded with what are called subreddits. Here's the political humor subreddit. And you'll notice here it said r/political humor. So that is an example of a subreddit. And they have them on almost any topic you can imagine. Like, here's a game I like to play. Okay, so subreddit for Elder Scrolls Online. In here, you have all this content. And notice you see people asking questions. Lots of people asking questions, giving tips, talking about information related to the topic of the subreddit. This is a gold mine. Reddit is an absolute gold mine for traffic for a couple of different ways. And today, we're going to talk about how you can mine Reddit for ideas and other things that you can then utilize to get traffic to your website. I'll dive in and explain how this works, but we're going to use Reddit as a source for concepts and ideas because we're going to be using Reddit for search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is all about how you get free traffic from the search engine. When Google actually does this, there are keyword phrases that all of the people want to rank for, right? People go to search engine tools. There's a whole variety of different kinds of search engine and keyword tools, whether it's SEMrush or Ahrefs, or there's a bunch of very well-known keyword research tools, or even Google's very own keyword planner, where they will give you keyword phrases that you can then try to rank for. But here's the thing. There is a field of hidden gold, because those keyword tools don't cover everything. It's this very little known fact that the keyword tools show the keywords that they have discovered. If you could imagine a giant green pasture, and all over in that green pasture are gold nuggets hiding inches under the ground, just under the grass. All these gold nuggets, each one a keyword phrase that nobody else knows about. And what you can find out is this is for a few different reasons. Either the keyword tools haven't yet found that keyword, or perhaps it's a new concept or a new question or a new thing that people want to know about, and it's an ever-evolving kind of like new trends that the keyword tools haven't picked up on either. You'd be surprised. Many of these are related to questions that people ask in your niche market, whatever it might be. And today I'm going to show you 3 different ways to exploit this, to be able to use Reddit as a signal and a source for content that you can use on your website so that you can rank for these little known, little gold nuggets hiding in the field that is Google. Okay? And with these strategies, you may never run out of content ideas ever again. So if you've ever been short on just not knowing what to write about for your website, what topics to cover in your blog, well, this will cover it all. So we're going to talk about finding those golden keywords. So Reddit is loaded with these hidden keywords because the people in the subreddits that are in the niche subreddits in your market, and they're there. And no matter what niche market you're in, there are subreddits that cover your topic. And if you go in there and browse, you'll see people talking about topics and subjects that are not covered with normal keyword tools. Then once you see that, you can just check Google, because what we're going to do is we want to check Google to see, is Reddit ranking for that keyword phrase? And what about other sites? Have other niche blog sites or other authority sites started writing about that topic yet? And if they haven't yet started writing about it, and you can clearly see people are asking about it in subreddits, then you know you have found one of those little gold nuggets that are just hiding in the field that is Google. Here's one that kind of fits 2 different niches. It was the question, how do I use prompts for betting? So people are asking about how to use AI for basically like sports betting. And one of the things that I noticed when I ran across this keyword phrase is that the very first result is a Reddit post. So we have a Reddit post about this topic and a TikTok. This is a clue when you see stuff like this. Here's a Reddit post, here's a TikTok, here's a bunch of short form TikTok content, a YouTube video, Here is a page, but it's not even specifically about this topic. So here is a niche site right here that is ranking for this keyword phrase, and they're not even using the keyword phrase in their page. This tells me that if I use this exact keyword phrase in a good piece of content on my website, that I have a shot at ranking on this page, because Google doesn't want to show Reddit posts in TikToks. That's not what Google wants. What Google wants is a site that is an authority on the topic, providing real useful information that helps their users answer their question. They don't want to send them off down a rabbit hole of having to watch 27 TikTok videos or off mining and reading through a forum, trying to search and find and hopefully get their answers. How many times have you done a search on Google and you struggled to find the answer to your question, and you're digging through, maybe you saw a Reddit post. There could be hundreds of comments in a Reddit thread, and you're trying to sort through them to figure out who answered your question and who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't. So instead, what Google wants is a site that provides good content that answers that search query. So if I write a blog post and I just write in the title and use that keyword phrase, and the keyword phrase in this case would be, how do I use prompts for betting? I might just make that my title. How do I use prompts for betting? And then I might do like : 7 amazing AI sports betting prompts. So that might be an example of how I would start out a piece of content. And I know, based upon what I see in the search results with my own eyes, that this is a phrase that I can rank for, because there's just nobody that has authority or has search power that is answering this question properly. And for those of you who are just starting, maybe you have a newer website or you're just now starting your first website, you'll find that it is very hard to rank in Google for competitive keywords. When you have a new site, you just can't rank and compete against other sites that already have authority. It takes time to build up and be able to compete. That's why you hear people say that a search engine optimization is a process that takes months and years to accomplish. That's for ranking for competitive, highly sought after keyword phrases. When you use keyword phrases like this, you can rank with a site that is newer. A brand new site can rank for keyword phrases like this when you use this method. So that's hack number one. Looking for search phrases that you see signs like this, where Reddit is ranking and there's no other authoritative niche blogs or niche websites that are answering the search query, then you know you have a shot to rank. So that's number one. Number two, we're going to use Google search operators to actually find specific questions. So you may be familiar with search operators in Google, and they're basically like instructions that you can type into Google to tell Google more specifically what you're looking for. And this is what we're going to type. So this is what's called an operator. We're going to use that to have Google guide us to try to find more keyword ideas. So here is our subreddit here. We're going to take the URL, and then we're going to put the subreddit URL right here. So site : and we put the subreddit URL, and then we put our keyword idea. So here in this case, we're going to say Dogecoin mining. And we're going to hit enter, and we're going to do a search. So now Google's going to show you topics that people are talking about in that subreddit. Okay, so we've actually niched it down, so it's going to tell us who's talking about Dogecoin mining, which Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency coin that you can mine. It was what's called a meme coin. Here we go. How accessible is Dogecoin mining? I'm just curious what's ranking for this keyword phrase. So I'm going to take that keyword phrase, I'm going to come back to Google and just search that keyword phrase. Well, this is interesting. I see authoritative sites, but nobody's answering that question. Yeah, nobody's answering that specific question. Now, let's go back to our search query here. We can also take out the subreddit. You can find all kinds of things. So we're going to now we're searching all of Reddit now. So you see how I took the subreddit off, and now we're searching all of Reddit. Okay, yeah, here is an entire subreddit dedicated to mining this coin right here. Here's a question that was just recently asked. So I wonder if we search Google for it, what's going to rank? If people are asking it in Reddit, they're asking it all over the web. See, there's Reddit right there answering that question. And I'm kind of seeing the same thing. Nobody's answering that specific question except that subreddit. Did you see what we're looking for? We're looking for specific keyword phrases or specific questions that people are asking in Reddit, but they're not but people are not serving up content that's showing up in Google for those questions. And that's what we're going to target. Now, there's also a tool that we'll share with you here. And in here, we can actually search for Reddits. So this is actually a tool, and we can share this. We'll put it in the video description. You can actually come in here and try to find related subreddits. So let's say, for example, we found this subreddit on mining Dogecoin, on mining cryptocurrency. You come to this tool, we just put the name of the subreddit. So now we have all of these related subreddits, and they're actually showing how they're linked together, what they're about, and we can preview them on the side here. So here's one about education about Dogecoin. We got Litecoin, a related cryptocurrency. Okay, I can see posts hours ago, so it's active. But we could go through this to look for what are questions and content then that people are asking about that are not being answered. When you find questions that are being asked in Reddit that are not being answered on Google, you make sure you create a blog post that answers that question. And you make sure that that exact keyword phrase, that exact question, appears in the title of your blog post. If you're not sure how to create a blog post, that leads into our next big hack. I'm going to show you how you actually can take Reddit and use it to generate these blog posts. Now you've identified the gold nugget keyword phrases or the gold nugget questions that nobody else is answering for. Now you take that keyword phrase and we're going to use AI tools to generate blog posts. I like to use Claude or ChatGPT. You could use either one to actually create your content following this training. So now we're going to move on to hack number 3, which is how do you actually generate the content that you put on your website to get those search rankings and get that free traffic. So let's dive into it. How we're going to do that is by having AI write content for us. And we're going to feed AI the answers that it sees in Reddit as a source to be able to create new content that specifically answers that question. And I'll show you an example. We'll use the keyword phrase that I first started with about sports betting using AI. What I want to do is we're going to go back to the question that we had before, and that was this one. So we're going to actually create a piece of content using ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT, we're going to use GTP4. We can also use the Browse with Bing feature if you have it, so that you can get more data. We're going to say, please write a blog post designed to rank for and answer the question, and we're going to put it in quotes, and we're going to say, here is some example materials you should use for reference. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the subreddit and we're going to take all of this content and we're going to paste it back into ChatGPT. And then we're also, just for fun, we're going to say, we're going to take that link. What we're going to do is we'll come to the top of our prompt. I'll put the URL to it here, and we're going to submit it. And there we go. It's creating our content for us. And it's actually going to write the entire thing. And there's our piece of content. And then what you'll find is that sometimes it doesn't use the exact phrase in our title. So you're going to want to tweak this a little bit and make sure that you use the exact search phrase in your title. So if ChatGPT doesn't do that, then you're going to want to do that instead. Now, if you want to get advanced, we can do this. Please also research LSI and related keyword phrases that Google would expect to see in an authoritative piece of content that ranks for, and go back to ChatGPT and we'll put the phrase in there. Then rewrite the article using those phrases. So what we're doing now is we're asking it to do research on what are called LSI. That stands for latent semantic indexing. It's a fancy way of saying what Google expects an authoritative article on this topic to rank for. So we're telling ChatGPT to research that and then rewrite the content with that in mind. And it's actually using the Browse with Bing feature to do this. And it is learning about how to do this. It's going to come back and rewrite the article. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use either ChatGPT, like you saw me do there, or use Claude AI, if you have access to it, is actually kind of a better place to do this, to do these longer pieces of content, to take research like this. But what you're telling AI to do is to come up with what are authoritative words and phrases that are called LSI keyword phrases that should appear in the article to convince Google that that is an authority and that is an article worth ranking for. And then it's going to rewrite it and it's going to put all those keyword phrases in it. And you take that content and you simply post it on your website as a blog post. And if you're a PushButton AI member, then we have WordPress. WordPress is pre-installed. You just go right into your blog and you copy and paste your article into there. And you make sure that your title has the exact keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for. Here's the new version, rewritten with that instructions. So this is a two-step prompt. So the first prompt, just to remind you, we went in here and we copied everything from Reddit and we used it as a source. So we said, please write our blog post. Here's a page you can use for reference. Here's some of the material. And then we pasted all the material from Reddit. I didn't even try to clean it up. I just plopped it all in there. And then it wrote the first article. Then we came up with another prompt and we said, please also research LSI and related keyword phrases that Google would expect to see in an authoritative piece of content that ranks for, and then we put our keyword phrase in quotes, then rewrite the article using those phrases. That's the result. Actually looks like a pretty good piece of content. You could continue with this. Like let's say you wanted it to be longer. You could just say, please make it longer. And then it's going to rewrite it longer. So you can just go on and then take that content, copy and paste it into WordPress. And then you have a piece of content that can now rank for this keyword phrase. And what we know, again, based on our research from the first two methods, is that this is a keyword phrase that there's not a lot of competition for. There's real world demand for it, but the keyword tools are not going to show it. It's not going to appear in Google Ad Keyword Planner. It's not going to appear in like a tool like SEMrush or Ahrefs or whatever keyword tool you might be using. And so this is a chance for us as a new website, site that maybe yet doesn't have a lot of authority, maybe doesn't yet have a lot of trust from Google. And now it gives us a shot to be able to rank for some of these kinds of keyword phrases. That in a nutshell is how you do it. And it looks like it wrote a much more extensive version that time around. So here's the freshly rewritten one. And there we go. So that is our piece of content. And again, just make sure you might have to rewrite the title just to make sure that your exact phrase appears in the title and the exact phrase appears in the article itself. And we could even tell ChatGPT to do that. So I'm going to say, please rewrite, extend it further and make it longer. Also, be sure to use the exact keyword phrase, and we'll put our keyword phrase here in the title and in the body of the article. And then now I'll rewrite it again. So whether you do that step manually yourself or whether you just tell ChatGPT to do it, make sure to use your exact keyword phrase, use it in your title, and then use it throughout your article naturally. Many times, this will be enough to rank when no one else is competing for that exact keyword phrase. So for those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top, everything you need from your domain name to your logo, to videos, to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video. And the only way to get in is by invite to our behind-the-scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business.